What's up? Hey peeps. It's interesting. It's 4:44 on a Friday, which is awesome, an awesome sign. I have fully no idea what it means truly, but I know that that's awesome for it to be 4:44 at the time of this recording. So this is for your for Pisces child. It could be the 12th house. It could be anywhere in your child's chart where they have Pisces energy. Um, it's interesting because this particular experience, it's like it starts off really surfacey and happy and cool, and then out of nowhere it like, I want to say, like, I don't know if it's called the Morena Trench or whatever, but it goes deep emotionally, dealing with some things. Like, it takes a very sharp dive towards the second half of the year. So we start off January with a very jovial energy, nurturing. We have the Empress card, very fertile, whatever. Fertile energy, abundance, blessing, happiness, fullness. There's just so much like joy that this Pisces child has, so much focus on not just good, not just sheer optimism, but it's like hope is the word that comes to me. Just I don't even want to call it blind hope, but just abundant hope. And that it transpires the full month of January. This It's just a all consuming ability to see things in a brighter sense. So this, like I said, it could apply to your 12th house. You could apply it to the country, the United States, as far as where we may see certain things transpire over the course of 2022. In February, there is this desire to kind of do some work and focus on a sense of maintenance, being able to see not just the two sides to a story, but almost being able to see, like, the pros and cons of things. What I mean by that is, they're just not observing like people and being able to see the hearts of people and the depths of people, or to see people's motivations or where they come from. But they're able to discern light and darkness, and to sort, to separate that within that person, and to sort the light and darkness that they will see and observe with their third eye as they go through the month of February. And there's a strength to that. There is some kind of fortitude and maturity with that. Thanks for watching. So it's like, it's not just happiness. It's not just like a blind, temperance, which is what this card stands for. So if you're familiar with astrology and the tarot, this is actually the Temperance card, which rules Sagittarius. Jupiter rules Sagittarius and Pisces. So this energy here you will find to be very harmonious. It may be very easy for the Pisces child to discern certain things, but there's definitely like a maturation or a strength that they will exhibit in the month of February. Just being able to discern. I like, the theme that I'm getting when I look at this card is just sorting light and darkness, being able to see both, and make sense of both, and still be able to function, dualistically in the world. So as we go into March, there's a need to buckle down. There's a need for control. So it's like forward movement. And so this is the Strength card, and just this need to kind of have a level of self, um, so I don't want to say self restraint, but to be able to just know their abilities and to use their resources and their strengths to their advantage to be able to maneuver the things that they encounter in the month of March. It's going to require mental discernment, it's going to require heart. So there's a depth, um, as they move through this year. It's like they get deeper and deeper and deeper as the months go. So it's really weird. These are all major arcana cards. They start off very jovial, and then you can see that there's like a level of um, depth and maturation, and taking things a step further as the year progresses. So when we come into April, there is some sense of accomplishment, is the word, a well deserved reward. They've put in the work. It may not be recognition from people as much as it is um, a sense of developing, like maturity or growth within themselves. So it's almost like when people see them, they will be able to assess and know that this person is different because they've done some inner work on themselves. A well deserved reward, whether it could be in school, whether it could be a situation where they help somebody, they were able to discern like a situation that somebody needed help, and they were able to act quickly and they get recognition for that. But I see, a possibility of there being a physical instance of them needing to help somebody in a situation, possibly a varying degree of like danger situation, and them receiving some kind of recognition for that. Or I mean, but it's just some sense of elevation, whether it's seen by people or it's seen by the universe. But there's some sense of like elevation within themselves in the month of April. I don't know why I wanted to say November. Um, but it also goes with this continued theme of something getting deeper. And it just continues to get deeper as we go. So now we're in May. There's a lot of heart energy, but it's like I just feel like they're like a little wizard. And I forget the name of the wizard. His name begins with an M. You can put it in the chat. Merlin. Thank you. But I just see them as a little Merlin being able to cosmically like wield their intentions, or to like they're growing deeper in their ability to discern, and then using the skill set to help them navigate this experience, this simulation, if you will. It goes deep. It's deep. Um, but I really feel like each month, like I heard the word seeds. Each month is providing like more seeds or more whatever of like more of whatever your child is going to need to aid them to get to this like deep mental emotional discerning place in their like Piscean self. So whether it's their rising or their sun, or wherever they have Pisces in their chart, I just see and sense it could be their midhaven. Wherever they have Pisces in their chart, there is a depth happening. Like they are like wielding and starting to learn how to use their gifts and machining them in an acute fashion. So wherever they start pointing their wand or their arrow per se, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, they're going to start like m- being able to master that ability to do stuff. And it's funny that I say master because in the month of May is when things start to change a little bit. So this is when we go through, and I think it's called like the Morena Trench. And it's like things really take a dive into like the depths of the soul, into wanting to like uncover why things happen. And they are overcoming darkness. So it's almost like they need to go to the dark places to understand mentally, um, and emotionally. It's almost like metaphysically. It's like a, I don't know if ethereal is a word, but it's a pulse. It is a vibrational pulse that they can feel, where they will be able to break chains. I'm hearing. Um, Mental chains. Just it's like a like somebody who is like Houdini, but somebody who is just really quick, like mental mechanical brain to be able to just like um do things very quickly to disassemble very complicated thought structures, whether it's emotions. It is emotions, but they're going to be able to articulate them in a way that's very airy, almost. And I'm feeling the sense of like Aquarius. So your child may have Aquarius in their chart, where in the month of May they may feel the need, whether it's circumstantial, but however it's imposed upon them, they may just feel a need to start mastering things that were once um, not even just scary to them, but things that just seem beyond them. They will have the skill set to work through and better understand. So this is the devil card in the major arcana, and you can see that this person, the devil is within themselves. We all have things, self-imposed limitations and temptations that we put on ourselves. And it's almost like uncovering that and being able to free themselves and aspects of humanity just by their thought or their understanding of how the human psyche works. And I see your child having like solutions. So you may have moments in the month of May where your Pisces child will just have a quick solution to your emotional problem. And it may baffle you as to how this child understood how to, and it'll seem so simple, like, all you gotta do is blah 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 blah. And you'll be like, what? Like, how did you know that? I just know. If your child sounds like that. Um, but in the month of May, I just see an emotional mastery, being able to uncover things that is most like that has stomped other people before, and being able to overcome like temptations and stuff. Your child will just understand certain things. There's just something about in the month of May where there's a deep understanding and being able to articulate it in a simplistic manner, but they are the only ones that can like go to the depth to be able to speak to that and understand it, and be able to articulate it to others. So it's like a very deep mental dive that they take um, in the month of May. So when we get to June, um, they will be clear headed. Um, they will know what opportunities to take. I just see them being very decisive in the month of June. There won't be so much of it's almost like they went through some kind of like transformation in May, where they just went on a different plane. They just elevated somewhere. and they'll be able to make decisive decisions about stuff and know what decisions to take in the month of June. There won't be this same kind of lagging or like or indecisiveness, like I don't know what I want to do, I have all these options. There it's going to be, I almost want to say, uncharacteristic, where it's going to be very clear for them to know what needs to be done, how they need to move forward, to get somewhere, to get something, to you know do whatever it is that they need to do. Thank you so much for the like. I appreciate that. So now we are moving into the month of July. So when we get to July, it's a rebirth. It just feels so psychic for the Piscean energy. It feels like if you have a Pisces child or if you are a Pisces adult, it just feels really surreal. You may just watch your child before your eyes, like just transform. So there is like almost like a rebirth, a psychic rebirth, a clarity that they will experience in the month of July. And so I really encourage you, if you have a Pisces child, especially a young one, that you make ample space for them and try to support their energies as best as you possibly can. Try not to, um, like if they are very vibrational, try to do your best not to interfere with that wavelength. Try not, as best as you can, try not to rush them too many times. Try not to change their focus quickly. Kind of allow their wavelength and pattern to go and to do what it needs to, and be very supportive of them as best as you're able during this year. Because I kid you not, I have no idea like what I'm talking about, in the sense that I haven't seen, like, okay, here's what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is truth. What I'm telling you is there is some kind of like cosmic expansion that will blow your mind, when it comes to your Pisces child, or an area where you or your child have Pisces in their chart. Like I feel it. But the reason why I said it the way that I did was because I have not lived it yet. I have not. We're in December, 2021, but I just know this beyond a shadow of a doubt that your Piscean child is going to have some kind of psychic year, some kind of psychic transformation. And I just need you, and I say it that way, and I need you to be as best as you can supportive of that transition. Because it's almost as if it were a movie and your child like had the ability to like save the world. You don't want to interfere with that by getting on them because they didn't clean their room. You want to like do what you can to help support this uploading and this upgrading, this transformation, like in a, I don't know if it's ethereal or what, it's like a cosmic sense. Whatever cosmic transformation they are going through this summer, just don't get in the way of it. Support it as best as you can. Okay. Moving on to August. I just feel like your Pisces child in the month of August, they're just going to take off. So you will see, in my opinion, from my understanding, just a lot of growth, a lot of execution, just pew pew, like just lightning fast speeds to things. They're not going to really be in a place where they need to they're going to acquire skills and information very quickly in August. For some of you, your child may skip a grade level or grade levels. If you're homeschooling, it's just they will be able to process a lot of information or retain a lot of information very quick, like a lot of information in August. So that may not be for everybody, but just accept the idea that there is some kind of mental like sharpness um, that is going to be affecting whoever this resonates with on some level. Um, whoever and I don't know. I just know that in the upright, this person is tired. If you can see, they need rest. Um, but I just see like a lightning download. Just I'm beside myself because I just feel like your Pisces child will blow your socks off. Like this year, just watch your Pisces child. That's all I got to say. Um, Now we get to September, and I don't want to say that this is necessarily a block, but this is like the Two of Swords. So when we get to September, there is um I'm feeling like I am feeling a block. I am feeling a desire to not see something. Um I'm trying to like what other things are coming along with this. It's almost like a denial for some. Like it's like a halt, not wanting to go any further. Either they saw something into the future, and I'm just saying the words that are coming to me, and they were like, okay, I'm done here. But there's going to be like there's just a stoppage. Um, Whatever that means. Like whatever psychic downloads that they got with their third eye, it's just gonna stop. And so I don't know if it's like, okay, now that they've gotten all the downloads that they need, now they need to process, and that's what they're going to do for the rest of the year. Um, it does feel very um, heart esque, where they go deeper in their heart and in their emotional being to just process information. And they may go into like a third eye hibernation for the rest of the year, is what I'm feeling. Um, and I also feel that there's some words that could possibly be spoken by somebody close to them that kind of alters or changes their focus or their level of optimism. But it's like I just see that there is a stubbornness or just a resistance, period. And that's all I'm going to leave there because I'm not getting any more information. And even it's almost like I could see a lot, and just telling you, my midhaven is Pisces. And then just to, go from all this information to nothing, I'm like, there may be certain things where it's almost like spirit is saying, okay, that's it. I've showed you all that you need to see in this moment. That's it. So then we move into October. And so they have, this is the Two of Cups in reverse. It could be, I almost feel like this, it feels more like a choice to withdraw. Not necessarily because something happened. It really could just be wanting to process everything that they've gained, everything that they've observed from the year ahead, this upcoming year. And they just want to process it because it feels good. It's in reverse, but it still feels good where it doesn't feel toxic. In the reverse, this card doesn't feel toxic. It doesn't feel like any emotional trauma happened. It just feels like a Piscean withdrawal. I've put myself out there in the world for all that I need to do. Now it's time for me to go into my dream state and do whatever it is that Pisces do with that information. I'm a Sagittarius, so blunt, and I do not understand that depth because Sagittarians, although we're philosophical, just stay on the surface. We can't get too deep. It bothers us. Um, but yeah, I feel like there is a processing in the month of October, an emotional processing. It does not feel grief stricken. It does not, it can for some, it could be like for some, an emotional situation comes up with somebody that's close to them that causes them to separate and withdraw for a very few. But I really just feel it is a self directed and self appointed desire to withdraw emotionally from the world and to be able to process everything that they've experienced in 2022. And it comes in the month of so I'm sorry, do I have this backwards? Let me see. January, February, March, April, May. This is okay, so I may have set this wrong. So January, February, March, April, May. I think I said this right. June, July, August. Did I say that right? Maybe I'm a month off, but for me to even say it, though, it is something that is just strung together. So September, October, that makes more sense to me emotionally. November. So my apologies. Thanks for following along. So if I made a mistake, thank you for catching it. So that's when we move into December. So I know I made that mishap on purpose because for some, I just feel like those energies are just going to be fluid and it's going to be like a continual train ride. And so certain things will transpire earlier or later for others. So we have the moon card in the month of December, where I almost want to say like there is some secrets that start to come out. We also have this card as well. So I really just feel like from late August to September through the rest of the year, there's going to be a shift in their focus. Secrets, focusing on secrets, processing secrets, possibly certain secrets coming to the light about themselves or having a better understanding about their family history. But depth for sure. And then we have like this bonus card, which I feel like has Aquarian ties to it. Yes, of course, in the regular traditional tarot, this is the Four of Swords. But for those who have a strong Aquarian placement, Pisces, I feel that there's this energy of contemplating, thinking, all of this in December, but almost there's also areas where you're on the upswing of revamping and preparing for 2023. So yes, there's a need to breathe and to assess. But it's like there's this dualistic nature within Pisces that I have an understanding that although one part of their mind and their brain is doing one thing, another part of themselves is able to focus on a different direction. So I just feel that in the month of December, there's hibernation for sure. There's things, looking at the depths of things. So not necessarily secrets, but just taking the time to detach from the world, seeing what is not normally seen in the light, processing that information. And it is like, this is their card. So I almost feel like the moon card, as it speaks to Pisces, is like a coming home, assessing the year that they've had, processing the events of the year, and depending on the age, just connecting with their self in a different emotional plane. I feel, if you would, this is something that if you don't know about Pisces, you should know. They have already lived the other 11 signs. So that's that explains a level like that explains why they are that sensitive. Um, because they just have an understanding of everybody else's energy. So I feel like in this time that they may be more of a homebody, they may like start to power down towards the end of 2022, revisit areas, past lives, do all the Piscean things that they do. Um, and it could be, either there's ancestors involved that are talking to them, future selves that are talking to them. But I feel like there's a deeper understanding of family history that will come up for them into play, where there's lessons in family history. For some, I don't know, that feels very strong to me. So there's connecting with ancestors in dreams, or someone passes away and they're connecting that way, or through somebody's passing, there's a better understanding of that person's life, um, or just better understanding of humanity and understanding of themselves. But there's not there's processing, but as they're processing, to some extent, there may not need to be like where it happens quick. Here's what I want to say: they may process information quickly. They their downtime or their turnover time is going to be like accelerated. So it's like they still, normally if it would take them longer to recuperate from something, it's not going to take them this long as they move into 2023. So it's still like full circle. They go, I mean, if you understand the symbol of Pisces, it comes full circle. They go from here, back here, which is essentially this. But they've just, you know, gone to the depths and they come back up again. So a really wow, like that was a huge, like we didn't even really we didn't go anywhere physically, but emotionally I just feel like I went on this huge circle of a journey. And that usually happens because I have a Pisces child, so understanding that, wanting to be in tune with my child's energies and just being able to understand what's coming up for them in the year ahead. So thank you for being with me and sharing this time and energy with me. I hope that resonates with you and speaks to you and like prepares your heart emotionally for what's up ahead. Thanks for the comments, and we will see you again soon. Happy 2022.